Now, the Legon chapter of University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, is today making a case for post-retirement contract lecturers to remain on government payroll. UTAG Legon President Dr. Harry Agbanu, in an interview with Maxwell Agbagba, stated that replacing such experienced staff could derail academic progress at the tertiary institutions. The National Council on Tertiary Education, in a letter to the universities, asked them to delete from government's payroll post-retirement contract lecturers above 65 years.
The blame should be, for me, should be with the Public Services Commission because they know so well what pertains on the ground in our universities. And so for them to refuse to grant the university that clearance in order to continue to maintain those colleagues on payroll, I mean, it's a worrying kind of situation.
Okay, so contrary to what many have described as the Auditor General's campaign to get people who are on contract, I mean, post-retirement contracts removed from government of Ghana payroll, you think that the Public Services Commission is to blame for this?
Yes, for me, it's the Public Services Commission that needs to be blamed. The Auditor General is doing his work. He is applying the law. He wants authorization to continue to keep such names on the payroll. So he feels that that authorization must come from Public Services Commission. So the universities approached the Public Services Commission for that authorization. They refused, blatantly refused. Several meetings have been held with them. They refused, thinking that the universities must be treated as any, the civil service or the public service, which is never done anywhere.
What makes the universities special? I've heard the arguments that for a job like teaching in the university, just like driving, the more you drive, then you become experienced. I've heard the saying that lecturers are like wine. The older they are, the better, they taste.
Exactly, because as you teach, as you research, that is where you gain the experience, that you come to know your subject area better than anybody else. So you are an expert in the area. And when it comes to training postgraduates, you need people of, senior lecturer, professorial rank to be able to treat them, to train them. And so by the time you become a professor, you are almost 80, and you are almost 60 and above. Generally, because it is not easy. And so if you are thinking that somebody who has spent his time to gather knowledge and is now in a position to train the younger ones, because he's 60, he should be thrown out, then you are not doing the country any service at all. That is why all over the world, most places, lecturers teach for as long as they are able to.
What is the way forward for UTAG? Already we've seen some opposition towards this, move. What is UTAG going to do?
The good news is that the President of the Republic has intervened. He called a meeting and has directed that the right thing be done.
Oh, when was this meeting called?
Oh, that was about 3 days ago.
3 days ago?
Yes, and so we are confident that this case will be put behind us, and looking into the future, something must be done about this so that it's not that it's been dealt with today and then tomorrow it's raised again. It must be dealt with once and for all.
I'm sure you had information from that meeting. Are you able to share with us what discussions went on with the president?
No, the president thinks that it is not done anywhere. And so he has asked that the stakeholders should sit down and resolve this problem once and for all. And that we need the professor. Without the professors, our universities cannot be rated.
So in the coming days, you'll be engaging the Public Services Commission?
Yes.
And then the NCT?
Yes, they were at the meeting. They were at the meeting themselves, and they heard clearly what the president told them to do. So we are hopeful that in the next few weeks, this issue will be behind us.
Okay.
Now, some university students are already kicking against the decision to remove the lecturers from government's payroll. Let's hear from a few of them.
University, you want your research hub to be very effective. You need more professors, because it's these professors that can supervise PhD programs. And if you go to the various departments, you realize that they are understaffed when it comes to professors. And University of Ghana has positioned itself in such a way that it will be a research-based university, and that is what has even helped it to be acknowledged as one of the best.
And it was one of the visions of the Vice Chancellor, the immediate past.
And that there's a continuity ongoing. So what happens is that with the influx of private universities, people can go offer their bachelor's, their Master of Science in some degrees, but they would have to come here and then do their graduate programs. And these graduate programs can only be effectively supervised by professors. So it's not just a question about
professors above 65 years. You have those below 65 years who can also do that.
No, mostly. Even as you were interacting with Dr. Agban, he made mention of the fact that there are few professors who are actually below 60 or 65. Okay. A lot of people spend their time researching, and so by the time they attain associate professorship status, they're about 55 or 50, and so they grow or they get experience on the job. So I think it's a sensitive position. Even if you are scraping it off, as is the argument, it is not automatic that you have people or you have lecturers occupying that position.
I think this is a very sensitive issue because me, for instance, if I'm done with school and I want to come back and do something at my department, I'll need someone with such an experience to, help me and stuff. Sometimes it will be prudent that spaces are left for us to also come and occupy. But then some positions I think are sensitive. And we all know that to the extent that they go to before they get these kind of PhDs and then the professorship and other things. So when they get there and it's time for them to impart that knowledge to us and they are forced to leave, it's a very worrying phenomenon because we also need that knowledge. People travel all the way from the world to come here to gain that knowledge, to tap into their knowledge that they've gotten over the years. So if they are made or they are forced to leave, it becomes a very, very worrying situation.
Very worrying situation. Yeah.